Hello, my amazing Algebra Half students. This is Mrs. A, and I love math. Today, we're doing lesson 26, which is mode, median, and mean. Now, most of the lesson is going to be about the mean, but we're going to just touch on the other two. Now, mode, median, and mean are all what we call measures of center. They help us to understand where the center of our data is. Okay, so here we have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 784. And those are the numbers that you have in your book. Now, the mode is the number that appears the most often. Out of all of that string of numbers, what number do you see the most of? Well, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s. I see 2 8s, but I see 5 2s. So my mode would be 2, because that's the number that I see the most often in this string of numbers. And the median is the number that is in the middle of all of the data. So if I took another marker and I just started to mark things off. So I said, okay, I'm going to take one off there, take one off on the end. I take this one off here, take one off on the end, take one off here. So I'm going inside, one off there, one off there, one off there, one off there. 7 must be my middle number. So the number that's in the middle is the median. We call that the median. In order to find the median, we must put our data in least to greatest order. Okay, the last vocabulary word that we're learning for our statistics here is the mean. And the mean is the average of the numbers. And remember, when we're finding an average, we add all of the items together and we divide by the number of items we have. So we would say a good definition for the average or the mean would be the sum of all the numbers divided by the number of items that we have. Okay, so we're going to play mostly with this mean here. These others we were just introducing in the lesson. So the mode is the number that appears the most often, like 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So the mode would be 2. And the median is the number that's in the middle. So we can mark them off until we get to the very middle number. Or we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trash those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trash those. This one is the one in the middle. So 7 is the median or the middle number. But this is the one we're going to focus on. What is the mean? And the mean is just another name for the average. Okay, so first we're going to do average and word problems. We're going to look at example 1 here. When the boys measured the distance 3 times, they got 3 different answers. The measurements were 4.017, 4.212, and 3.996 meters. What was the mean of the 3 measurements? Now notice what they're doing. They're adding all the digits up. So they're adding together the 4.017, 4.212, and the 3.996. They're adding them all up, and then they're dividing the sum by the number of items that they had done. So 12.225 divided by 3 is 4.075. And that is what we mean by finding the average. Okay, look at the next one down here. It says, when Athena sprang in full armor from the head of Zeus. That's a little bit of mythology for you, isn't it? When Athena sprang in full armor from the head of Zeus, 2 other gods gave the weight of her panoply. Oh, wow, what a word. Guessed the weight of her panoply. One guess was 41.802 kilograms, and the other guess was 37 41.408 kilograms. What was the mean of the two guesses? So the mean is just the average. So we're going to add 41.802 and 37.408, which you can see down here that they're doing. They add them, they got 79.210, and then they divided by 2 because there were 2 items in the problem. So they divided and they got 39.605. So the whole key to finding the mean is to add all of the numbers in question together and divide by the number of numbers you have. Okay, let's read the last problem down here and then we'll do our practice together. The mean weight of the 3 pigs was 320 pounds. The first pig weighed 220 pounds, and the second pig weighed 240 pounds. What did the third pig weigh? This is quite a fun one. Now we know that the mean is what we get when we add all of the numbers together and divide by the number of numbers that we have. So we are going to call pig 3's weight W for weight. So we're just going to call that W for weight. All right, so we're going to say pig 1, pig 2, pig 3, and we're going to add up all of their weights. Even though we don't know what the pig 3's weight is, we can just call it W. So we're going to say that 220 plus 240 plus W is the total weight of the pigs. Okay, so I can't add the W in, so I'm just going to have to tack him on. But 0 plus 0 is 0, and 2 plus 4 is 6, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So I have 460 plus W. Okay, so that's going to be my total sum. And then I'm going to get another board here. Remember that the mean was 320 of all of the pigs. And the total weight of the pigs was 460 plus W, the weight of the third pig, divided by 3 gives us our mean. So total, or the sum, divided by the number of piggies we have, is going to give us the average, or the mean, which they told us was 320. Now I got to figure out some way to get back to my W. And it would certainly make it a lot easier if I didn't have this 3 here. So what if we remembered that division and multiplication are inverse operations? So if I know that this divided by this is this, then isn't this times this equal to that? That's how multiplication and division work. Remember, 6 divided by 3 is 2, because 2 times 3 is 6. So we can always go backwards, all right? So let's turn our division problem back around into a multiplication problem. So we're going to say this divided by this is this, because this times this gives us this. So 320 times 3 equals 460 plus the weight of that third piggy. Okay, so 320 times 3 is 960. Is 460 plus the weight of the third piggy. Now let me ask you this. Can I just subtract the 460 from the 960 and find out that the third piggy weighed 500 pounds? Because isn't 960 take away 460? 500 pounds. The third piggy weighs 500 pounds. Now let's check it. That means we're going to write right here, we're going to write 500 pounds. So we have 460 plus 500 is 960. And 960 divided by 3 gives us 320. And we guessed it. We didn't guess it. We worked it out. Okay, so now we're going to come back with your practice problem. Okay, here's your practice problem. You only have one practice problem on this lesson. So we have height of building 1 is 420. We have the height of building 2 was 380. The height of building 3 is a big mystery. That's a question mark. You have to figure that one out. And the mean height is 430. So remember that the mean height is the total of all of these heights divided by 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if we know the mean height is 430, then we can make an equation that's going to make this true. So let's go ahead. Since this is the missing height, let's call our question mark H. And I let that one sit too long, didn't I? Okay, let's call the question mark H. And let's make an equation that's going to be true. So we know that the sum of all of our heights, well, let's go ahead and figure that out. So we have 0 plus 0 is 0. And then 2 plus 8 is 10, carry the 1. And 7 plus 1 is 8. 800 plus this height, which we don't know. The sum divided by 1, 2, 3 buildings is going to be equal to the mean. Okay, so again, we have a very similar situation, don't we? Oh my goodness, I'm doing it for you. Pause your video. Okay, so now we're going to go backwards again on our division. This divided by this gives us this, so 430 times 3 gives us this statement right here. So let's rewrite it. So we're going to say 430, tell you what, I'll write that on a new board. Okay, so we're going to take this division problem and we're going to turn it around to multiplication. We're going to write 400 times 3 is 800 plus h. Okay, 800 plus h divided by 3 is 430. 430 times 3 is 800 plus h. So now all we have to do is solve this problem and we'll have our answer. Okay, so here we go. 430 times 30 is going to be a 0 and then a 9 and then a 12, right? And then we're going to have on the other side 800 plus h. So if we know that 1,290 is equal to 800 plus h, can we subtract the 800 from both sides to find out what the h is going to be? Okay, so 0 minus 0 is 0, 9 minus 0 is 9, and then we borrow, and 12 minus 8 is 4. And then this one goes out, we're left with h. Okay, another way that we can do that is we can say, okay, once we get here, we can say this plus this is this, so we can undo the addition. This minus this gives me this, because addition and subtraction also undo each other, as do multiplication and division. Okay, so h plus 800 is 1,290, so 1,290 minus 800 is h, and that's exactly what we did down here, isn't it? So we end up with 490 is the height of the third building. And we are done with that lesson. So what you need to remember is that the mean is the same thing as the average, which is the same thing as the sum of all the numbers divided by the number of numbers we have. And this is Mrs. A, and may God bless your day.